Why are printers so primitive and a pain to use in comparison to other technology that got better with time? The current printers are light years ahead of the printers from the 80s and 90s. Think dot matrix, daisy wheel, etc. Back then, if a printer did anything special like graphics, you had to have a driver for that printer, or your software had to support that specific printer. Printers are actually really good if you pay good money for them. The ones we have at work churn stuff out and never go wrong. Even the one I used at home for years is basically fine. But if you buy the $49.99 one, then you get what you pay for. My brother laser printer was like $150, took 2 minutes to set up, and never is a problem until it needs a new toner cartridge, which is also at least easy to swap. I flee all-in-one printers and color printers like the plague, but yeah, black and white laser is soft and cheap. At some point, certain technologies get to a place where they can only get so much better. Add that to the fact that people print less, and things will change more slowly as there is less interest in improvement. You just need to stop buying HP. 90 of what people think of as printer problems is just HP bullshit. Are you sure technology has not improved? The home laser printers are infinitely better than the inkjet printers even from 15 years ago. I got one recently for a reasonable price, and it is super fast, which I didn't think was possible outside of a commercial office printer. My brother laser printers have rocked along rock solid for decades. If you stay far away from inkjets in general and especially ones from HP, you will be a happier person. Printers have improved so much in my lifetime, they're truly amazing. Now stay away from the cheap ones, and you need to run them once in a while or they start to gum up. My advice is to not buy a home model but instead get a work model. Think OfficeJet over DeskJet. The work models cost a bit more but are many times faster and have much larger consumables, so they cost less in the long run. Oh, and for some reason HP's drivers are the absolute worst. Their printers are fine, but their drivers leave me sobbing in the corner. What seems to be the problem? My brother laser printer that I got 10 years is still working fine. ICTRLP to print it auto wakes up, and within 5 seconds later, a page comes out. Can it be improved to print faster? I'm sure it can, but I honestly don't need it to be faster. Cheap printers are not designed to print well for a long time. They are designed to sell ink. Every possible corner is cut on a 100 printer. In fact, the ink toner that comes with the printer is almost always a small starter cartridge that has way less volume of ink toner in it. Even the cartridge is the same physical size as a normal cartridge. They want to get a few pages printed and then get you buying ink or toner as absolutely quick as possible. This is such a spot-on observation and good question. I absolutely hate what HP is doing now. I bought one of their printers and was dumb enough to get an ink and paper subscription. These assholes monitor every page you print and constantly remind you how many more pages you're allowed to print that month before you get charged more. You know what the limit is? 50 pages. 50. I bought a pack of paper with 200 sheets or whatever it is. I already paid for it. I already paid for the printer. I already paid for the ink. And now you're gonna monitor me and tell me how many pages I can print. When you cancel, the ink cartridges you already paid for no longer work. They actually disable them. So they are fully capable of innovating. But guess how many times my printer would lose connection with the network or some other error would happen and I couldn't print when I needed. Like every other day. So they can take the time to figure out how to monitor every page you print, disable cartridges you've already paid for. But they can't keep the fucking thing connected to the network. Fuck HP. Get a laser printer. I picked up one for less than 100, and the small toner cartridge it came from lasted 2 years. I got a 2-pack for $15 5 years ago and just put the second one in. There are brands that are just out to screw you over. From my experience, it's HP and Canon. Probably more than that. I have been recommending Brother brand laser printers ever since I got one. That thing is a dang beast. Been with us for over 5 years now and no trouble. Nobody uses it for 3 months. Then I hit the print button on my phone and guess what? Printer goes beep, boop, BRZZZ, and out comes my document. No fuzz. Nothing. Ask yourself, when was the last time you printed a high-quality picture? Ask yourself, when was the last time you printed anything colored? Then go and get a black and white laser printer. Seriously. The refills are like 60, and I have replaced it exactly twice in 5 years. Went through maybe 3 reams of paper in that time. I agree with OP. I get it, printer technology has improved, but they still have this relatively long warm-up period, and for some reason sound like 2 robots fucking every time you print something. I have 2 fancy printers in my office that I can't figure out how to work. I fucking hate it. I don't understand why a printer is such an amazing and special thing and I should pay real money for it. Like yeah, it'll pay $50 for it because it's a printer. It's not a computer. Don't have an issue. We buy Brother, Kyocera, and Epson if we need an inkjet. Buy the right-sized model or a step up and it's pain-free. Lots of moving parts, many points of failure. Difficult to do cheaply, but the market demands cheap products. Meiskux monochrome has been going for years now with no issues. Best 110 I could have spent for a printer. Printer stopped getting better roughly in 1995. The expectation was that by now we should all be paperless. We had high hopes for our future. Because the mechanical parts and the ink flow don't combine well with people's low budgets. HTTPS. Inkjet print heads get ruined if you don't print on a regular basis. With HP this means buying new cartridges, with other brands it means buying a new printer. Cheap laser printers are worlds better than cheap inkjets for everything but photo printing. Because you buy the cheap ones. Because you have shit printers. I never had a problem with those things since 1997-ish. I swear it's shit drivers. I've had 2 printers that were a nightmare every time I wanted to print. But in Ubuntu they worked fine.